contour and highlight, and dealing with face shapes. So stay tuned for that. In this video today, I discuss the various face shapes and blended face shapes, and I demonstrate how to determine what shape you're working with and how you can manipulate each shape to enhance and hide or alter the shape. Okay, so let's just begin. Okay guys, so it's really important to determine what face shape or face issues you might want to correct and enhance. In this video, when we discuss the various face shapes, we're going to go over all of that. Highlighting and contouring have been like a massive beauty trend for a very, very long time. In becoming a makeup artist, or if you're doing makeup on yourself, this arena is kind of unavoidable. You're going to hear about it. I want to try to demystify it and clarify what we're dealing with and see if we can't make this kind of step-by-step and simple for you. So contour and highlight is so varied and it can be fairly complex, but what I'm aiming to do today is to simplify everything so that your knowledge can grow over time rather than completely overwhelming you with just a million different options for contour and highlight. I'm going to try to keep it as streamlined as possible so that you feel comfortable and confident in beginning the process, and you could always add to your knowledge later. For this, I just want to announce that you're going to need a few tools. You're going to want a concealer, a foundation, a powder, 1 to 2 shades lighter, 1 to 2 shades darker than the skin tone. You need cream, liquid, powder, highlight, illuminators, and contour tones. So whatever form that may take, if you want to use just powders, that's okay. If you want to combine cream and powders, that's okay. I'm going to show you some methods on my end of it, but you know, there's more than one way to skin this, so you want to make sure that you know, you've got some tools available that you're able to maneuver at least some practice time on this one. Also, just make sure you've got your blending brushes and sponges available, anything you might need to maneuver these products, and let's roll them out. Face shapes. Okay, how to determine face shapes. The first thing before you start is to just tie your hair back a little bit and pull the hair off your forehead so that you can see the entire face. And if you have a photo of yourself looking directly into the camera, even better, because sometimes when you're seeing a still photo, you can like get a bird's eye view on your own face shape or on another person's face shape, and you're able to better determine what that is. But you do need to like pull the hair back because the hairline is an important aspect to all this. So make sure you've got something to kind of like either hold the hair back or pull it back. So your first step to this is you're going to look at the forehead. Look at the distance across the forehead and see where the widest point is from the hairline to the hairline. Once you've determined that, then you can kind of get an idea what your forehead's doing as far as, you know, if it's wide forehead or if it's a small forehead or if it's pretty on point to where it should be in terms of being quite balanced with your jaw. Okay? So let's just get a look at cheekbones. So cheekbones width can really vary from your hairline above the cheekbone here, so just right around here. Check the distance across your face at the same point to the other side. Kind of get a feel. Do you have a high cheekbone? Do you have a minimal cheekbone? Is your face quite thin and your cheekbones are concealed? Get a feel for what your cheekbones are doing, and you know, if that's something that you need to enhance. Some people have almost too large cheekbones, so they want to subdue those, but most people want to build up their cheekbones because, yeah, it just makes us feel chiseled and kind of hot. So let's roll to the next face shape. So the next thing you're going to examine is the jawline width. So take a look straight at the camera or in your photo and take a look at where your jawline sits. If it sits slightly wider off than your forehead, then you're looking at more of a triangular shaped face, and you know, these are just kind of like obvious signs. If they're perfectly in line, balanced, it's possible you have either a square or oval face. We'll have to take a closer look at that. So these are just things to consider when you're looking at the jawline, but you do have to look and see the face length. as well. So begin measuring at the center of your hairline and bring it all the way down until it reaches the tip of your chin. So check and see if your face shape is shorter or if it's rounder or what's happening with that structure. Just know that a rounded jawline here is typically tied to a more rounder face shape, while a pointed chin is closely associated with the heart-shaped face shaped. So if where you get like a little bit of a raise here, maybe you have a bit of a widow's peak and it comes higher on the forehead, turns round, and it looks like a heart. Or you can also call that like triangular, whatever floats your boat. You can name it any one that you want. Just take note of the angles and the contours of your face to see where they're soft or sharp or pronounced or not. And then we're going to now examine the 6 kind of most common face shapes. So forehead, is your forehead rounded at the hairline? Is the width of your face essentially the same as the length? Is your jawline rounded in very subtle angles? Is the length of your face essentially the same size as the width? If so, then you're looking at more of a round face shape. And obviously with weight and things like that, your face shape can change shape, and mine surely has. I was much more wider here when I had weight on, and so it can change over time, and you can actually alter it just through weight changes or puffiness, things like that. All right, so let's talk about the square face. So if you're looking in the mirror, does your hairline follow a straight line? Is your forehead essentially the same width as your jaw? So square shaped. So square shaped face is kind of like more equal across here, length, and this way. I've got just a little bit more length than I do to make it a square shaped face, but it definitely is close to that. So, you know, if it was like a little bit shorter of a jaw and a little bit shorter here, it would turn more square. So take a look and see if that is the case. On the cheekbones, there are minimal curves to your cheekbones, and you want to look and see if your sides of your face follow a straight line from your jaw to your forehead. So is the width of your cheekbones about the same as the width of your forehead and jawline? Do you have a strong squared jawline? Do the sides of your face follow a straight line from your jaw to your forehead? So these are the things to look out for when you're checking out to see if you've got a square face shape. All right, the diamond face. The diamond face is about as long as it is wide, and your hairline will follow a straight line, and your forehead is essentially the same width as your jaw, like this. And do the sides of your face follow a straight line from your jaw to your forehead? Is the width of your cheekbones about the same as the width of your forehead and jaw? And do you have a strong square jawline? Do the sides of your face follow a straight line from your jaw to your forehead? So diamond face, when you think of a diamond face, what I associate that with is it's a little bit maybe smaller here, a little bit smaller here, and then the cheekbones pop out a little bit, so it makes a bit of a diamond shape. So check and see in the mirror if that is what's happening for you. The next one is kind of like considered the ideal face, but I beg to differ. I think all shapes are really interesting. The oval face is basically your perfect balanced face. So you're nicely balanced. The forehead's going to be smaller than the width of the cheekbones slightly, so the cheekbones are going to pop out just a little bit, and a taller forehead, so you have a good size forehead. It's not like super short. Mine's pretty short. And then your cheekbones are the widest part of your face. The jawline, you have no super sharp angles. It's kind of like softer shaped, and your face is a little longer than it is wide. So long and kind of like, you know, super ingenue shaped. And it's a really famous shape for models to have, is the oval. But, you know, now with the appreciation of all different faces and shapes and sizes in society, I'm seeing that shift quite a bit. But the oval face is really well known to be kind of what you're after for a model-y looking face. We briefly touched on the heart face. So that is where the heart-shaped face has got the forehead is wider than your jawline here, and there's often like a widow's peak, something like that. and a V-shaped point at the hairline at the center of the forehead. The cheekbone width is about the same as your forehead width. They are both, if they're both wider than your jawline. So do you have a narrow jawline? Does your chin have a strong point? This face is slightly longer than it is wide. So think widow's peak, shaped heart, and your chin might come out a little bit, just like the heart shape. And yeah, lots of people have this shape as well. It's really pretty. I like it, but it is a little different shape, so watch for that. Okay, this next one is called the rectangle face, and basically you're just looking at your hairline following a straight line. Your forehead essentially is the same width as your jaw. I'm there, and then it's a tall forehead. I don't really have a tall forehead here, so a taller forehead, and then straight down across. There are minimal curves to the cheekbones. It's more just like shaped like this, and the sides of your face followed a straight line from your jaw to your forehead. The width of your cheekbones is about the same as the width of the forehead and jaw. And then for jawline, it's more squared, and your face follows a straight line from your jaw to your forehead. So it's a rectangle, doop, 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 like that. And if you're still having trouble, you guys, deciphering between square and rectangle, you could often distinguish this from its straight horizontal hairline, extended middle, and very defined square jawline. So essentially it's a little bit longer, rectangular shaped, and a square is wider across and more square. So just keep that in mind. So your next assignment is going to be, if you choose to accept it, to assess your face shape. And it'd be really great if you assessed a couple of other people for practice. Use steps 1 through 7 to determine what those are, and using products and shades as well as consistencies. Research at the nearest cosmetic stores. Apply. Let's just do